Okay, so I just wanted to take this time to kind of explain my YouTube channel, and I thought, why not draw my YouTube banner while doing that? So, might as well kill two birds with one stone. Basically, I like drawing. I like animation. Um, and I dream to become an animator one day, and this is the logical next step. I've been animating for quite a long time, and I kind of wanted to try something new. Obviously, as you can see in my previous animations, I'm not amazing, but I do think that there is improvement from where I started. There's a lot more fluidity in where I was lacking a long time ago, but that's good. It's improving. But basically, I just wanted to talk about what I will be doing with this channel and what you can expect. Basically, what I want to do is I want to grow my audience. I don't want to have a lot of subscribers, but I do want to make things that make people happy. I also just want practice, and I think that doing this is a really good practice for me. So yeah, that's really the only thing to that. But basically what you can expect from this channel is I believe I will try to do like a story time animation, like probably once a month-ish, but then also have like shorts and the Pokemon card drawing challenges. I'll probably have those at least once a week. Maybe like once every 2 weeks, but it probably won't go past that. So yeah. No, on this channel, I want everything to stay lighthearted, kind of funny. Obviously, I'm failing at the funny part, but besides that, I just don't want it to be a serious place. I don't want it to be taken seriously. I want it to be there for, like, anytime you want to laugh or you want to forget about something. I want this channel to be there. I want to make other people happy, because that's what makes me happy. So, that's what this channel is really for. I am in love with art. I draw a lot. Probably too much, honestly. I am getting better every day, but I just wanted to tell you what you can expect from my channel. And let's get back into actually talking about the artwork itself. What I wanted this banner to be is I wanted it to reflect my interests and who I am as a person. Obviously, what I like to do is I like to give all of my artworks a certain form of childlike wonder, and I like to make them feel childish, honestly. But I do think that this channel banner is a transition into who I am as a person. Well, not really, but I just like my drawings to be lighthearted, and I want them to look as if, they're not very sophisticated, but you can tell I put a lot of work into them, and I care about my pieces. I like to make all of mine have some form of being imperfect, and sometimes I leave sketch lines in. Sometimes I purposefully mess up lining in my line art and leave some bits that stick out or whatever. And I think that's a great way to add character to a piece, because I don't want it to be polished of all character. And I feel like that's a big problem when trying to make an artwork look better, is that you polish away all of the character that you put into it. So yeah, I put on a classic, like a button-up short sleeve shirt, because my favorite shirt that I've ever had is this black t-shirt that has like palm leaves on it, and it's a great shirt. It's a great shirt. So I tried to briefly replicate that, or I tried to mention it with the black t-shirt, which we'll get into later. Right now, what I'm trying to do is get along a point of beginning something and being farther than where you are today. And I think that I translated this nicely with having the character be notebook paper. Also, I really like the stylistic choice of having it look like all of your characters were drawn on college-ruled notebook paper. I think it adds a certain level of charm to them, and so I decided to do it because that's how I started drawing. I started just doodling on college-ruled notebook paper. I had like notebooks filled with just sketches. None of them were good, but it worked, and it was fun, and it sparked my creativity. So I think that that's important to me. Then, with the color of the character itself, I was trying to go for a more like, you got Crayola markers and you're drawing on the paper itself. And so Crayola markers aren't very opaque. And so in doing so, the lines underneath still shine through. And I kind of wanted to translate that with changing the opacity of the colors. And I think it worked fairly well, as you will see here in a minute. Because I think it's important to know that you can still make something awesome just with not very high quality art supplies, because you can make a masterpiece with Crayola crayons. You can make one with Crayola markers. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the care you put into it and the skill. So right here, I'm trying to do some basic shadows, go in with a darker tone, as if you had a darker marker, Crayola marker. And so, yeah, I think that in the end it turned out pretty cool with the simple shadows. With the outlines of the characters, I did kind of want it to look like you had a Sharpie and you outlined it like that, because that is important to me. Because before I had alcohol markers and microns and nice material, I used a Crayola marker and a mechanical pencil or a normal pencil and drew on lined notebook paper with a Sharpie and outlined it that way. So I think that is important to translate into this. And I do feel strongly about that. So yeah. With the character designs, as I said before, I like to make them childlike. So I give them big, cartoony eyes and a goofish smile. Sort of like, I would compare it to like a early Disney Channel cartoon. That's what I would compare some of them to. And I like that style. I think that style is fun. I've translated it into more of my own. and I've adapted it into my own style. And so, yeah, I usually like to call my style, it's a smorgasbord. It's a, what's the word? Crap. I'm really blanking on a word right now. Sorry. It's a hodgepodge. That's the word. It's a hodgepodge of Steven Universe style with the ears, and The Simpsons also with the ears, with the little inside of the ears. That's something that happens in The Simpsons, and I used to watch that a lot. And then also, I think the big round shapes come from early era cartoons. And I usually give my characters, when I do draw like legs and arms, I give them either one or two arm styles. I give them either really thin arms, like rubber hose style, or I give them thicker arms, like a Steven Universe arm. For Steven, not for the Crystal Gems, but I give them either of those two arms. And I think that my art is all of those styles. I think that everything I watch subtly is interpreted in my art. It gets included in my artwork. It may be subconsciously, I don't know. But whatever it is, it will be put into my artwork at some point. I learned a lot of things from just watching cartoons, looking at books. That's how I started drawing. I do think I am a lot better. I'm not the best. I never think I will be the best, but I am more confident in what I can do now. And I think that is all I really care about, is being more confident in my ability. Like, with this artwork, I don't think it's bad just because it's simple. Because it's really not that simple, honestly. The character is kind of complex, not very complex, but there's a level of complexity to him. But I think that that's a good thing, because I put a lot of time and effort into this. I think this drawing itself took over 2 hours to make, and I'm just speeding it up, and I cut a lot of it out. But yeah, I can draw realistically. I can draw in my own cartoon style. I can draw in this cartoon style. I think I've gotten a lot more confident in my abilities, and I just wanted to translate that in this piece. And this is my good friend, my little Wooper, my buddy. If you don't know, which I hope you do, if you're watching this channel, which has a lot of Pokemon-related content, I would hope that you know that Wooper is a Pokemon. But Wooper happens to be the definitive best Pokemon. Like, look at his eyes. Can you say no to those eyes? He's so derpy. I love him. He is my child. And he will forever be my child. I just love him so much. So I incorporated him into this drawing because I think it's something that I like and that I care about. I care about Pokemon as a general. I started like seriously getting into drawing in like 4th grade, and I was making my own Pokemon and I was drawing Pokemon. I think that of anything, Pokemon has been a big impact in my artwork, which is why I love the series. So, yeah, that's why I like Pokemon a lot. That's why a lot of my content is Pokemon related, because messages don't have to be convoluted, or they don't have to be stretched out, they don't have to be long, they don't have to be span over 30 different story arcs. Pokemon just teaches messages, simple but powerful at the same time. With Ash as a character, it's like, it's okay to lose, Because Ash always gets back up. That's a great character trait. He never feels down about a loss. He uses that and becomes a better trainer, which is something that I feel is important in life, honestly. And I definitely think that with the inclusion of battling your own way, that definitely translates into be who you are as a person, because the whole thing is that you play the game your way. You battle the way you want to. Ash battles the way he does. And it's very be true to yourself, and I like that aspect. So, yeah. Anyway, Wooper is my favorite Pokemon. He will always be my favorite Pokemon. Paldean, Wooper, maybe a close second, actually. Close second. I love both of my children equally. And when I do get a Paldean Wooper, I will keep him as a Paldean Wooper because he's gorgeous. And because he's a poison type, I'm going to name him after poisons. And obviously, sorry, lost my train of thought for a second. But because Paldean Wooper is a poison type, I believe, I think I'm going to name him after poisons. And so I think I'm either leaning towards Anthrax or Puffer Fish. I think that could be funny. But yeah, Wooper's the best. And we love Wooper here. I wanted to make Wooper bigger. He needed to be prominently displayed. So at this point, I am doing the same notebook technique as I did to my character. And I think that works very well with Pokemon. Because like I said, how I got really into drawing was through Pokemon and on a gray notebook I had, which had all of my Pokemon designs. If I can find that, maybe I'll show it to you at some point. But not today. We're not doing that, because I don't want to embarrass myself. But yeah, so I did the same notebook technique. The white background, changed the opacity of the colors itself, drew the lines on. Quite simple, but it is very effective. But yeah, so I take the color from the previous one because I don't feel like bringing the image back up and then doing it again, color picking again, because that seems like a waste of time. So yeah, we draw the lines on, which is very satisfying. Just kidding, it's really not. It's kind of tedious. Obviously, as you can see there, if I wanted it to be perfect, I would have made the lines evenly spaced, but I like the human error involved in having it not be evenly spaced. I liked having it some closer, some farther. I think it really conveys that message of not needing to be perfect. I think it works. Don't question it, okay? But yeah. Wooper is bae. What was I gonna say? Crap. But yeah, this is So-So Animations. I like drawing a lot of Pokemon. I like drawing. I like sculpting. I like animation a lot. I like anything hands-on. I like I don't know. I like constructing. I like being creative. I like music. I sing a lot. In fact, I sing when I draw. Is that weird? I'm gonna sing now because I want to. And it's my channel, so I can do what I want. So, let's do that. Familiar, why is this so familiar? Familiar like something I used to be. Familiar, staring up at the ceiling. Familiar, I swear that I know this feeling. Where everybody wants me to be mom. And everything I do it wrong. I'll sway them with a joke or with a song. And maybe that'll help us get along. Familiar, why is this so familiar? Familiar, like something I used to do. Familiar, that she used to throw a tantrum, insisting that, hey, I'm a diamond too. I bet she drove them crazy all the time. They love her, but they're leaving her behind, with more important places they should be than hanging out with someone just like me. Familiar, that's why it's so familiar. Familiar, like someone I used to be. I think we should stop it there. But yeah, I really like musicals, and I act and sing and dance, and I take great enjoyment in those. And yeah, I'm a very, very musical person. I really like singing and acting, dancing and drawing. But yeah, my favorite TV show of all time is, like I previously mentioned, that it was Steven Universe. I guess I haven't mentioned this. I really like comic books. That's also a big inspiration. I like Marvel, not DC, because I'm not a heathen. Okay, I am, but you know, I'm not a DC heathen. But yeah, I'm not into DC. I'm into Marvel. My favorite superhero of all time? Oh crap. Why is it hard to think about this now? I really like Wiccan. I like Wiccan a lot. Yeah, Wiccan is probably my go-to. I'm trying to think of other ones I'm fairly fond of. I like Jubilee. I like Jubilee a lot. Jubilee is kind of dope. Oh, Phoenix. Phoenix is awesome. I like Phoenix a lot. Jean Grey. Yeah, pretty great character. But yeah, I love Marvel. I love all things Marvel, Disney. I'm in love with art of all sorts. I'm in love with filmmaking. I'm not good at it, obviously. But yeah, I think that this is a tapestry, per se, of who I am as a person. And yeah, I think that that's important to me, because this represents who I am fairly accurately, and I like that. So, yeah. I think it works for a YouTube banner. I did have a lot of struggle, like, adjusting it to the right size. But anyway, I think that is all. Remember, at Soso Animations, the drawing isn't good, the animation isn't good. It's so-so.